And we welcome you to the Kia Center here in Orlando, Florida. I am Vinny from vdubproductions. Welcome back to my NBA2K26 presenting the 2025-2026 season playthrough. I know we're about to have the conference finals in the NBA playoffs in real life, but we're still here in the Eastern Conference semifinals, Game 4 between the Atlanta Hawks and the Orlando Magic. I apologize for not being able to get content out the last few days. It's been a little bit of a hectic weekend here. I was going to expect the same thing coming up this next weekend, so I want to try to get as many games out as I can, but I will promise you, though, that we're going to get everything out as soon as I can. I want to see this through the end. As we look at the starting lineups here, we got Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Rishaze, Johnson, and Porzingis. As you see, the Magic will win the tip here, and they did win Game 5, 135-109. Suggs, Bane, Franz Wagner, Bachero, and Carter Jr. You see Desmond Bane will get the scoring started off quickly here, as Bane had 41 points in the Game 3 victory to get back into the series. Here's Rishaze with the layup. That's good. Rishaze only had 5 points in that Game 3 loss. Suggs feeding it over to Franz Wagner. He's over 16 on the shot clock right now. Bachero, he'll shoot the three. That is no good. Carter Jr. will get the offensive rebound and the put in. Second chance points for them. The Magic only had 4 points. 4 second chance points in that game. Brian Anderson, Grant Hill, Stan Van Gundy would be your broadcasting call if I had the game commentary on, but you get me instead. Porzingis feeds it back over to Jalen Johnson, back over to Trae Young. 4 on the shot clock. Young. 2 on the shot clock. He'll put the shot up. That is off the front rim. Carter Jr. coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Desmond Bane. Bane coming around, and that's going to be a blocking foul called against Dyson Daniels. His first personal foul, first team foul. So see the inbound over to Bachero. Bachero, he'll put the shot up. That is no good. Dyson Daniels coming down with the rebound. Daniels had 3 rebounds in that Game 3 loss. Rishaze feeds it back over to Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Trae Young. He'll shoot the 3, and he'll miss that one. Bachero coming down with the rebound. Bachero had 13 rebounds on top of 30 points. It's double-double for him in that Game 3 victory. They won 135-109. They led by as many as 29 points. They won by 26. Bachero holding on to that one right now. He'll put the shot up. That is no good. Porzingis coming down with the rebound. Feeds it over to Trae Young. Back over to Dyson Daniels. 4-2 right now as we're over 2.5 minutes into the game here. Trae Young will shoot the 3. He needs to get going if the Hawks want to continue to dominate this series. He only had 13 points in that Game 3 loss. It was he, Porzingis, and Daniels and Okongwu were the only 4 players. As you see, I believe that's Carter Jr. with the bucket there again, and the Magic on top by 1 once again. So we're about 3 minutes into the first quarter, 6-5. Magic on top. Porzingis with the slam dunk. That's his first 2 points. He's had 38. And you see he's averaging 26 points during the playoffs, after only averaging 19.1 during the regular season. Bachero, he'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Porzingis coming down with the rebound. Back over to Trae Young. Young finding over to Porzingis. Back over to Dyson Daniels. Daniels, he'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. It's a 4-point lead for the Hawks. Dyson Daniels, as I said, 11 points in that Game 3 loss. Feeds it over to Bachero. 15 on the shot clock. And Suggs. Got 10 on the shot clock, finding over to Desmond Bane. Bane, 3 on the shot clock. He'll shoot from inside. That is no good. Johnson coming down with the rebound here. 4 minutes into the first quarter. It's a 4-point lead for the Hawks. Game 4 of this Eastern Conference semifinals. They lead the series 2-1. They took the first 2 games in Orlando, or in Atlanta. As you see, Trae Young will miss the 3 once again. Young, only 3 points on 1 of 4 shooting, 1 assist so far. Wagner coming around, feeds it back over to Bachero. 10 on the shot clock, finds it over to Jalen Suggs. 7.5 to play here in the first. Suggs will shoot the 3. That's no good. Rishaze coming down with the rebound. Rishaze feeding it over to Trae Young. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. 8-0 run by the Hawks, and the lead is up to 7 for Atlanta. 5 minutes into the quarter now. 13-6, the Hawks lead it. Bane feeds it back over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. over to Bachero. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Trae Young coming down with the rebound. Young crossing the half-court line, feeding it over to Dyson Daniels. Daniels back over to Trae Young. Young, he'll shoot the 3. He'll miss the 3. Desmond Bane coming down with the rebound here. 20 on the shot clock. 6 points for Trae Young on 2 of 6 shooting. 1 rebound so far for him. Desmond Bane, he'll shoot the 3, and that is no good. Trae Young coming down with the rebound. This game coming to you from the Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. Game 4 of this Eastern Conference Semifinals series, where the Hawks lead the series 2-1. Porzingis on the shot clock. He will use the backboard. That's good. And that's a 10-0 run by the Hawks as we go to a timeout here. 6:06 to play in the first. The Hawks leading it 15-6. Let's go look at the lineup change here for Orlando. So Anthony Black will check into the game for the first time, but everybody else stays out on the court for both teams. 10-0 run for the Hawks right now. They lead it by 9. They only led by as many as 2 in game 3 here. You see Wendell Carter Jr. ending that 9-0 or that 10-0 run coming out of the timeout here. I believe he's at 6 already for him. He's back over to Dyson Daniels. Got 10 on the shot clock, or now 10 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Rishaze. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Anthony Black coming down with the rebound. Anthony Black coming around. Feeds it over to Bane. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. Just like that, 5 quick points in the lead, and the Magic are within 4. Here the defense chants right now. He's back over to Rishaze. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. Trae Young will get the assist there. It's 18-11. 5 to play here in the first quarter. 7-point lead for Atlanta. He's over to Bachero. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Dyson Daniels coming down with the rebound. Bachero, as I said, had 30 points in that Game 3 victory to get the Magic back in this series. Young will shoot the 3. That's no good. Carter Jr. coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Desmond Bane. Bane coming around with a jump shot. That's good. I believe that's 7 for him already in this game. He had 41 points in the victory in game number 3. Rishaze feeds it over to Porzingis. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. Kristaps Porzingis, as I said, he's been on fire this whole series. Bright spot for the Hawks, actually, with 38 points. Bachero will shoot the 3. And the Hawks within 5. 4 minutes to play here in the first. Porzingis coming around with the slam dunk. And the lead up to 7 again. Got Anthony Black. Came off the bench coming out of that timeout. Feeds it back over to Desmond Bane. Bane. He'll come around. He'll get the slam dunk. Desmond Bane, 9 points already on 4-6 shooting. Magic within 8, or within 5 here as well. Have a timeout called by the Hawks. We're going to take another one as well. The Hawks leading at 23-18, 3:25 to play in the first. Coming out of the timeout here, we see during the regular season field goal percentage, Onyeka Okongwu, 83.9% he shot. So just about 84%. Really couldn't give you a lineup change here, but we do have lineup sets here as we have Caleb Houston checking into the game for the Hawks. Houston, Okongwu, Mohamed Gay, Luke Kennard, and I believe that's Alexander Walker. So that is a total lineup change. Fresh set of 5 players out there. Gay, Feeds it over to Alexander Walker. He'll put the bucket up. That's good. Alexander Walker, his first points of the game. He had 7 of them in the Game 5 loss. Tyus Jones into the game now. Bane stays in the game. Same with Wendell Carter Jr. Anthony Black still in the game. You see Anthony Black with it. His team trailing by 7. Okongwu getting the rebound. Who else is out there? Got one more player I need to figure out that's out there for the Magic. I believe that's Bachero. Still out there. Alexander Walker feeds it back over to Houston. He'll shoot the 3. He will miss it. Carter Jr. Yep, that is Bachero. So that will officially set the lineup for both teams. He's back over to Bane. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. I believe that's 12 for Desmond Bane already. Yeah, as I said, he led all scorers with 41 points in the Game 3 victory. Magic within 4, 25-21. Hawks leading it. Kennard leads back over to Houston, back over to Okongwu, back to Houston. Feeds it over to Kennard, over to Mohamed Gay. Gay, he'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Wendell Carter Jr. coming down with the rebound. Tyus Jones crossing the half-court line. Feeds it back over to Desmond Bane. A minute and a half to play here in the first. From the O-zone is what they call it here. Desmond Bane, 7 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Black. 3 on the shot clock. Black, he'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Okongwu coming down with the rebound. Kennard feeds it back over to Caleb Houston. Houston back over to Alexander Walker. Minute to play here in the first. 4-point lead for the Hawks. Alexander Walker, he's holding on to it. Back over to Houston. Houston, he'll put the jump shot up. That is no good. Bachero coming down with the rebound. Tyus Jones feeding back over to Bane. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. That's 15 for him already. Look at the field goals. 5 of 12 for the Hawks. 4 of 12 for the Magic. Caleb Houston finds it back over to Mohamed Gay. Gay puts a shot up. That will fall in. He matches his game 3 total there. 3-point lead for the Hawks. Shot clock's still on. I believe it's about a half a second ahead. Or the game clock is a half second ahead of the shot clock, I should say. So, still theoretically, Orlando has to take a shot here. Orlando, and Bane is going to go to the line, shooting 2. That's Alexander Walker's first personal foul, second team foul. The Magic only had 4 free throw attempts, so they sank them all. So a chance for the Magic to cut the deficit to within 1 to end the quarter. And he'll do that. I believe that's 16 for him here as Porzingis checks back into the game. Franz Wagner, I think, checks back into the game as well as his brother Mo Wagner. And Bane will sink it. I believe that's 17 for him in this first quarter. Kennard, he'll take a deep 3 to end the quarter. That will do it. No good. We are at the end of the first quarter here. The Hawks, the 27-26 lead here in Game 4. We'll be back. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons. We'll be back to start the second quarter coming up right after this. All set to start the second quarter here in Orlando. So we'll have Porzingis, Alexander Walker, Caleb Houston out on the court. And then who else is out there? I believe that's Mohamed Gay. As Porzingis, he'll put the bucket. It's a 3-point lead. 11 points for Porzingis here. So we have Bedaze, Anthony Black, or Tyus Jones, and then the Wagner brothers. So that's the lineup set for the Magic to start the second quarter here. 10 on the shot clock. Anthony Black will shoot the 3. He'll miss the 3. Porzingis coming down with the rebound. Alexander Walker has it. He's back over to Luke Kennard. Kennard Feeds it over to Muhammad Gay. Feeds it back over to Porzingis. Porzingis back to Houston. He'll shoot the three. That is no good. Mo Wagner coming down with the rebound here as we're over a minute into the second quarter. Franz Wagner. Got 10 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner with his first 2 points of the game. And the lead is down to 1 again. Mo Wagner had 8 points off the bench in that Game 3 victory. Kennard coming around, and that's stolen by Mo Wagner. Jones feeds it over to Franz Wagner. He'll come around. Wagner will miss that one. Muhammad Gay coming down with a rebound here. Luke Kennard. 15 on the shot clock for the Hawks here. Alexander Walker feeding it. Coming around. Feeds it back over to Kennard. Dishes it over to Alexander Walker. Feeds it back to Gay. Over to Houston. He'll shoot the three. That's no good. Anthony Black coming down with the rebound here. Over 2 minutes into the second quarter. 29-28. Franz Wagner. That's no good. Porzingis coming down with the rebound. Back over to Alexander Walker. Holding on to that one right now. Feeds it over to Porzingis. He's going to drive the layup. That's no good. Bedaze coming down with the rebound. Jones feeding it back over to Franz Wagner. Wagner's going to drive. Dishes over to Bedaze. Tyus Jones. He'll shoot the three. That's in there. Tyus Jones. And the Magic are on top by 2. That's their first lead since 6-5. Over to Alexander Walker. Feeds it back over to Houston. He'll shoot the three. That is no good. Bedaze coming down with the rebound. So we're 3 minutes into the second quarter here. Franz Wagner coming with the layup. That's good. And we'll have a timeout called. That's a 7-0 run to start the second quarter for the Magic. We're going to take a timeout. 8:57 to play in the second. Coming out of timeout here, let's see, Quinn Snyder's group. Let's see, Young, Kennard, Alexander Walker, Porzingis, and Okongwu. And for the Magic, let's see here. We have Suggs, Bane, the Wagner brothers, and Bedaze. So that is the lineup set for both teams coming out of the timeout here. 7-0 run for the Magic to start the second quarter. They lead it by 4. That's their largest. Porzingis will have his way. I believe that's 13 for him, and the Hawks within 2. So we had Desmond Bane, I believe, that had 16 points in that first quarter. He's back out onto the court now. Bane, he'll shoot from inside. That is no good. Porzingis coming down with the rebound. Alexander Walker feeds it back over to Okongwu. Okongwu will get the shot up. He's fouled by Mo Wagner. He's going to go to the line shooting 2 with an opportunity to tie the game. Quinn Snyder just sitting there saying, you better make those shots. That said, Okongwu, as we looked at earlier, shot over nearly 84% during the regular season from the field. And he will miss the free throw. By the way, the Hawks did not shoot a single free throw in Game 3. So now they are 0 for 1 in Atlanta. Or in Orlando, I should say. And he'll sink the second one. So the Hawks within 1. As Franz Wagner crosses the half-court line. Feeds it back over to Jalen Suggs. Back over to Desmond Bane. Bane being guarded by Luke Kennard. Bane's going to come drive around for the layup. That's good. And the lead is up to 3. That's 8. That's actually 19 for him. Okay, yeah, I thought he had 16, but he had 17 in that first quarter. And there's a 3. That's no good. Wagner will give it back over to Bane, who has 19 already. Feeds it over to Suggs. Suggs uses the backboard, and he'll put the bucket in. That's good. It's a 5-point lead for the Magic, their largest. Jalen Suggs had 23 points in the Game 3 victory. So we're 4.5 into the second quarter. Trey Young will drain the 3. That's 9 for him. He only shot 29% from the field in the first quarter. It is 9. He only had 13 in the whole Game 3. Bane will shoot the 3. That is no good. Trey Young coming down with the rebound. Bane 19 points on 7-11, shooting 3 from 5 from beyond the arc. You see Kennard feeds it back over to Trey Young. Got 10 on the shot clock. Young feeds it over to Porzingis. Porzingis is going to drive it in, and we are tied at 37. That's 15 for Kristaps Porzingis. I said Porzingis has had himself a heck of a series right now. He had 38 points in the loss. He's nearly halfway there. Bane will shoot the three. He'll drain the three. That's 22 for him. And the Magic on top again by 3. Trae Young getting a little screen by Porzingis. Porzingis now has it. That's no good. Franz Wagner coming down with the rebound. Got 15 on the shot clock right now. Feeds it back over to Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner will put the shot up. That's good. And the lead is up to 5 again. 12 assists so far in the game for the Orlando Magic. They had a grand total of 34 in that Game 3 victory. Young feeding back over to Porzingis. Porzingis, he'll put the shot up. That's good. That's 17 for him. 12 of them in the paint. 5.5 to play here in the second, and we will have a timeout by Orlando. We're going to take another one as well. 42-39 Magic on top. Coming out of the timeout here, let's look at the Hawks lineup. We got Young, Daniels, Richazé, Johnson. And it's Porzingis moving to center. Probably. So we got Suggs, Bane, Black, Banchero, and Bedaze, I think, is staying out on the court as well. So that is a lineup set coming out of the timeout here. Exactly 5.5 to play until halftime. Orlando leading at 42-39. Orlando looking to try to send this back to Atlanta tied as you see Banchero for 3. And the lead is up to 6, their largest lead. You see Johnny Mosley, recently fired by the Magic in real life, but recently just hired by the New Orleans Pelicans to be their next head coach. So Mosley is not unemployed anymore. 5 on the shot clock. Trae Young. He's back over to Richazé. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Jalen Suggs coming down with the rebound. 17 rebounds for the Magic already. They had a grand total of 46 in Game 3. Out rebound the Hawks 46-36. Bane will shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. That's 25 for him. 8 of them here in this second quarter. And the lead is up to 9. That's their largest lead. And Porzingis will miss that one. Bedaze coming down with the rebound. Black. He's going to drive it, but he'll fish it over to Banchero. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Porzingis coming down with the rebound. Both teams led by as many as 9. And then there's a bucket. I believe that's Trae Young with the bucket there. I believe that's 11 for him. And that'll stop the bleeding just for a little bit. 48-41. Suggs feeds it back over to Desmond Bane. Under 4 to play. Bedaze feeds it back over to Suggs. 5 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Bane. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Jalen Johnson coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Richazé. Richazé feeds it back over to Trae Young. 12 on the shot clock. Porzingis almost shot it for a second. But now there's 8 on the shot clock. Kristaps Porzingis. 3 on the shot clock. He'll take the jump shot. That's no good. Banchero coming down with the rebound. Anthony Black holding on to that one right now. Back over to Jalen Suggs. 15 on the shot clock. Suggs feeds it back over to Desmond Bane. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Porzingis coming down with the rebound. Trae Young back to Richazé. 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Richazé feeds it back over to Trae Young. 13 on the shot clock. Young. He'll shoot the 3. That's going to be in and out. Anthony Black coming down with the rebound. He'll cross the half-court line. 18 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Banchero, over to Desmond Bane. Bane, he'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. The lead is up to 10. That's 28 for Desmond Bane. He's only 13 points away from tying Game 3 total at 41. And we'll have another timeout call by the Hawks. We're going to take one as well. 2:19 to play until halftime. 51-41 Magic on top. Coming out of the timeout, it's a 10-point lead for the Magic here as Okongu's going to check in for Porzingis. And for the Magic, we got Bane, Suggs, Wagner, Banchero, and Carter Jr. And that is Franz Wagner. Carter Jr. checking in for the first time in the second quarter. Okongwu feeding it over to Dyson Daniels. Back over to Trae Young. Young coming to drive it, but he'll fish it over to Rishaze. Rishaze, he'll shoot the three. He'll make the three. 2 minutes of play until halftime. 51-44, Orlando on top. This is game 4 of the Eastern Conference Semifinals with the Hawks leading the series 2-1. The Hawks took the first 2 games on their home court. As you see, Suggs will shoot the three. He'll make the three. The lead up to 10 once again for the Magic. I said the Hawks took care of business on their home court, taking the first 2 games. Then Orlando stole a game here, game 3. Rishaze will miss that one. Jalen Johnson coming down with the offensive rebound, being guarded by Bachero. Johnson will put the bucket up. That's good. Hawks within 8 here. 75 seconds of play until halftime. 54-46, the Magic on top. I said the Magic took game 3 of this series here on this court in this building as they won 135-109. Bachero only has 6 points on 2 of 10 shooting. Jalen Johnson, he'll get the layup. That's good. That's 4 points for Johnson here. He had 5 points in all of game 6. Or game 3, I should say. Actually, he could have more. I'm not sure. Bane, he'll shoot the three. That's off the back iron. Trae Young coming down with the rebound. Trae Young. And there's a failed alley-oop attempt, but Rishaze will grab control of it. He'll miss it back over to Okongwu, but he'll feed it over to Johnson. Rishaze will shoot the three. He'll make the three. That's a 7-0 run for the Hawks. Hawks within 3. That's 11 points for Zachary Rishaze on 4 of 8 shooting, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. 20 seconds to play until halftime. Franz Wagner. 8 on the shot clock. Back over to Jalen Suggs. So Wendell Carter Jr. feeds it back over to Franz Wagner. He'll shoot the three. He'll make the three. 6-point lead with 9.2 seconds to play until halftime. Shot clock turned off. Trae Young feeds it. He'll take the shot. That's good. 0.9 to play. And that will do it. We reach the end of the first half. It was a 10-point lead for the Magic, but a 9-3 run by the Magic. And it's only a 4-point game going to halftime. You see Quinn Snyder being interviewed. The score, the Magic 57, Hawks 53. As we are 1 half away. We'll see whether this series will be tied or will it be Atlanta going ahead 3-1. I hope you like what you have seen. Hit the like button. Comment on this video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. And also you'll see in a link in the description down below will be my link to the Cash App, as well as where you can follow me on Instagram and X. I am vdubproductions. We are sending it to halftime. We'll see you guys in the second half. Coming back to you from Orlando as we're getting ready to start the second half here. 57-53, Magic on top. So the Magic did have a 10-point lead before a 9-2 run cut the deficit to 4 going into halftime by the Hawks. As we see 28 points by Desmond Bane as we look at the highlights here. Both teams actually shot 51%. As we start the second half, Porzingis inbounding it to Young. The starting lineups for both teams, as you see Porzingis with the slam dunk, as you see Suggs, Bane, Carter Jr., Franz Wagner, and Paolo Bachero. That's the starting five to start the third quarter, as well as the starting five for the Hawks with Young, Daniels, Richazé, Johnson, and Porzingis. Bachero will shoot the three. That's no good. Porzingis coming down with the rebound, or down. Back over to Richazé. He had 11 in that first half, make it 13, and we are tied at 57. Hawks shooting 24 of 45. The Magic 22 of 44. Suggs will feed it over to Bane, who had 28 points in that first half. Bachero, only 6 points so far in the game. Bachero, he'll shoot the bucket. That is no good. Carter Jr. will get the offensive rebound and the put in, and the Hawks, or the Magic, are on top by 2 once again. Series 2-1. The Hawks lead the series. They took care of business in Atlanta in the first 2 games. Magic took game 3 in convincing fashion. Feeds it back over to Porzingis. He'll shoot the 2. He'll miss the 2. Franz Wagner coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Wagner. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Trae Young coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Richazé. Franz Wagner only 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting. He does have 5 assists. Richazé feeds it back over to Trae Young. Back over to Richazé. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Desmond Bane coming down with the rebound. Back over to Franz Wagner. Wagner back over to Desmond Bane. Bane, he'll shoot the 3. He'll miss the 3. Johnson coming down with the rebound here. Over 2 minutes into the third quarter. 59-57. Orlando on top. Game 4 of this Eastern Conference semifinals. Porzingis feeds it back over to Trae Young. Oh, he probably should have taken the shot there. 6 on the shot clock. Daniels, he'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Wagner getting the rebound. Bachero feeds it back over to Franz Wagner. He'll shoot the 3. No good. The Hawks had a 29-26 lead going into the second quarter, and then it was a 7-0 run by the Magic. They have not looked back. I mean, the Hawks have tied the game since then, but they have not been able to take the lead. Young, he'll miss that one. He gets the offensive rebound. He'll put it up. That's no good. Bachero coming down with the rebound. Suggs with it crossing the half-court line. Feeds it back over to Franz Wagner. Feeds it over to Bachero. Bachero back over to Suggs. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Richazé coming down with the rebound. Neither team can find the lid right now. But Trae Young will shoot the bucket there, and we are tied at 59 again. Over 3.5 minutes into the third quarter, we're tied at 59. A 15-5 run, actually, if you think about it, since the first quarter, as Bane will now have 30 points for him after that bucket, and the Magic on top by 2 once again, as we'll have a timeout called by the Hawks, the first of the second half. 8:04 to play in the third. The Magic leading at 61-59. Coming out of timeout here, 8:04 to play in the third. It is a 2-point lead for Orlando. Desmond Bane, as I said, leading everybody with 30 points. Richazé going to inbound it. He'll inbound it over to Trae Young. Feeds it back over to Jalen Johnson. Back over to Trae Young. 15 on the shot clock. Richazé finding it over to Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Trae Young. Young feeds it back over to Johnson. He'll shoot the 3. He'll drain the 3. And for the first time since 29-28 in the second quarter, the Hawks have the lead. Dating back to the end of the first half, it's now an 18-7 run by the Hawks. Bachero. That is no good. Jalen Johnson coming down with the rebound. He's over to Young. Back over to Richazé. Richazé feeding over to Porzingis. He'll put the bucket up. It's a 3-point lead for the Hawks. They led by as many as 9 in the first quarter. The Magic had a 10-point lead in the second quarter. As we're approaching 5 minutes into the third quarter, 64-61, Hawks on top. Bachero, that is good. Paolo Bachero See the Magic shooting 47%. They shot 60% in Game 3. Hawks at 51%. They shot at 50% during Game 3. Johnson will shoot the three. That's no good. And we have a loose ball foul called against Dyson Daniels. That's a second personal foul. First team foul called against the Hawks here in the third quarter. As we have 6:38 to play in the third quarter. It's a 1-point lead. And Suggs is going to step out of bounds. No, actually, that went off of Young, they said. So Magic will retain possession. 20 on the shot clock. Wendell Carter Jr. Leads it back over to Bane. He'll shoot the three. That is no good. Suggs will get the offensive rebound. Franz Wagner for three. He nails it. And the Magic lead it by 2. Leads it back over to Jalen Johnson. Johnson. He's holding on to it right now. Johnson. He'll shoot the three. That's no good. Desmond Bane coming down with the rebound. Suggs feeds it back over to Carter Jr. Over to Franz Wagner. Back over to Bane. Bane back over to Carter Jr. 2 points. No good. Rishaze coming down with the rebound here in the third quarter. Halfway through the third quarter now. 66-64. Magic on top. Dyson Daniels feeds it back over to Porzingis. Porzingis holding on to that one right now. Back over to Trae Young. Young, he'll shoot the three. That is no good. Franz Wagner coming down with the rebound. 5.5 to play in the third. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Semifinals series from Orlando. Feeds it back over to Carter Jr. now. Suggs had it just for a second. Carter Jr. dishes it over to Bane. And that's stolen by Dyson Daniels. Careless turnover right there. The Magic only had 2 turnovers, I think, in all of Game 3. Neither team turned the ball over that much. Johnson will miss that one. So Hawks only had 3 turnovers, actually, in that game. And there's an alley-oop. Bachero will get the slam dunk. I believe that might have been Carter Jr., maybe Wagner getting the assist there. It's a 4-point lead for the Magic again. 7-0 run, and that's a miss right there. As I said, the Magic on a 7-0 run already. Down by as many as 3. But now the 7-0 run puts them up by 4 once again. 10 on the shot clock. Feeds it over to Bane. He'll shoot the three. That's no good. Jalen Johnson coming down with the rebound. Feeds it over to Dyson Daniels. Daniels with the layup. That's good. That ends the 7-0 run. Jalen Johnson with the assist there on the Dyson Daniels bucket. Bachero feeding it over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr., that shot is no good. Porzingis with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Trae Young. Young, he'll shoot the three. That's no good. Desmond Bane coming down with the rebound. Feeds it over to Franz Wagner. Got 10 on the shot clock here. 3.5 to play here in the third. Bachero, he'll shoot the three. No good. Trae Young coming down with the rebound. Over to Dyson Daniels now. Still trailing by 2 for the Hawks. Young coming over with the layup. That's good. We are tied at 68. I believe Johnson had the assist there. Or is that Dyson Daniels? Never mind, had the assist. And we'll have a timeout called by the Magic here. 3:05 to play. We are all tied at 68. We'll be back. Coming out of timeout here, let's see. We got Young, Kennard, Alexander Walker, Gay, and Okongwu for the Hawks. And for the lineup set, it is Anthony Black coming in for Jalen Suggs. I said 3:05 to play here in the third. 20 on the shot clock. They will inbound it over to Paolo Bachero. Fishing it back over to Bane. He only has 30 points. Only has 2 points in this quarter here. I see Bachero, though, for 3, and the lead is up to 3 once again. Bedaze looking to check back into the game, and I believe Tyus Jones also going to the scores table. Caleb Houston at the scores table for the Hawks. Trae Young ties the game at 71. I think Kennard will get the assist there. 2.5 to play in the third. Feeds it back over to Franz Wagner. Bachero. She's over to Black. Back over to Bachero. Bachero, he'll shoot. I believe he was inside, but it doesn't matter anyway. Kongu coming down with the rebound. Alexander Walker feeds it back over to Young. He'll shoot the three. Young will drain the three. It's a 3-point lead for the Hawks.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
2 minutes to play here in the third. 74-71, Hawks on top here in a very back and forth game, and that is an illegal screen called against Paolo Bachero, his first personal foul. No team foul since that was on the offensive end. Said Houston's going to go to the bench, coming in for Trae Young, and I know he's on the bench. And for the Magic, I gotta say, we got Jones, Black, Bedaze, and I believe Tyus Jones. That and also Franz Wagner. Bedaze will come down with the rebound off the miss here. 90 seconds to play here in the third. Tyus Jones coming around, and he'll lose it as Nickeil Alexander-Walker comes with the steal. Kennard feeds it back over to Alexander-Walker. 10 on the shot clock. Feeds it back over to Caleb Houston. He'll shoot the three. That is no good. Bachero coming down with the rebound over to Tyus Jones here. 1 minute to play in the third. 74-71. Hawks lead it right now. Feeds it back over to Bachero. Bachero going to drive. Tips it. He will drive the layup. That's good. Bachero cutting the deficit to 1. The Hawks 31-65. The Magic 29-63. Feeds it back over to Kennard, Kongu. He'll put the shot up. That's good. The lead is up to 3 again. Wagner crossing the half-court line. At 30 on the shot clock. Franz Wagner with the slam dunk. 1 point lead. Got Alexander Walker. Feeds it back over to Kennard, to Houston. Houston finally get over to Alexander Walker. Got 5 on the shot clock. Alexander Walker will shoot the three. That's no good. Tyus Jones coming down with the rebound. Shot clock turned off. Jones coming with the layup, and he'll hit it with .2, and the Magic are on top by 1 once again, and that will do it for the third quarter. We have a back and forth tilt here. The Magic leading it by 1. Hit the like button, comment on this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We'll be back to start the fourth quarter right after this. Start the fourth quarter here in the O-Zone. We got the State Farm assist of the game. That might go to Desmond Bane. No, that's the Franz Wagner on an alley-oop slam dunk to Paolo Bachero here as we start the fourth quarter. Mo Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Bedaze. Then we have, Bedaze is coming around with the layup. That's good. That's 6 straight points by the Magic. We got Buffkin, Kennard, Porzingis, Alexander Walker, and Gay. That's the lineup set for the Hawks. So Desmond Bane is out on the court as Bedaze call for his first personal foul. Porzingis going to go to the line, shooting 2. So we look at it. I believe it is Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Bedaze, and Mo Wagner. That is the official lineup set for the Magic starting the fourth quarter here. We had 13 three-pointers made by the Magic, 49 points off of assists so far. Porzingis will miss the first one. Kongu checking back into the game for Kobe Buffkin. Kennard moving to point guard. Alexander Walker to shooting guard. Porzingis will sink the second one. Bedaze over to Desmond Bane, who only has 30 points in this game. He has 30 points in this game. Only 2 of them here. Only 2 points in the third quarter. Jalen Suggs feeds it back over to Bedaze. Feeds it back over to Suggs. Black for 3. That's no good. Porzingis coming down with the rebound. Mohamed Gay. Feeds it back over to Luke Kennard. You got 11 to play here in the fourth quarter. 79-77. Magic on top. The Hawks looking to try to send this back to 3-1. Send it back to Atlanta up 3-1. The Magic are looking to try to send this to Atlanta tied at 2. Jalen Suggs went coast to coast. That is worthy enough of the AT&T Connected Cam. AT&T, a proud sponsor of NBA 2K26. A lead up to 4 for Orlando. As I said, Atlanta wanting to win this game to go up 3-1. Or no, for Atlanta. Orlando wants to go back to Atlanta tied at 2. Mohamed Gay. He'll shoot the 3. That is off the back iron. Bane will come down with the rebound. He's back over to Jalen Suggs. Suggs feeding over to Wagner. Wagner with the layup. And just like that, it's a 6-point lead. Led by as many as 10 in the second quarter. Alexander Walker feeds it back over to Porzingis. 10 on the shot clock. Kristaps Porzingis. At 3 on the shot clock. Porzingis, he'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Desmond Bane coming down with the rebound. Feeds it back over to Jalen Suggs. Suggs over to Black. Anthony Black. That's good. 6 quick points and a lead up to 8 once again for the Magic. 9:20 to play here in the fourth. Alexander Walker finds it over to Mohamed Gay. Back over to Porzingis. We got 10 on the shot clock. Porzingis. That layup is good. 24 points for Kristaps Porzingis. So we have 9 to play here in the fourth. Magic leading it by 6. To Jalen Suggs. Suggs feeding over to Mo Wagner. That's in there. Mo Wagner. As I said, Mo Wagner only had 8 points in the Game 3 victory. Those are 2 huge points to put him up by 8 again. A lot closer game. Needs it back over to Okongwu. Back over to Alexander Walker to Porzingis. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. That's 27 for him, and the Hawks within 5. Desmond Bane feeds it back over to Suggs. He'll shoot the 3. That is no good. Mohamed Gay coming down with the rebound. Crossing over the half-court line. Feeds it back over to Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker feeds it back over to Kennard, but now Porzingis has it again. Porzingis will drain the 3 again. That's 30 for him. He's had at least 30 points in all 4 games, and we'll have a timeout call by the Magic. 6 quick points. Hawks within 2. 7:49 to play in the fourth. Coming out of the timeout here, we see Trae Young checking back into the game. Vic Krejci checking into the game now for the Hawks and for the Orlando Magic. We have Black, Suggs, Franz Wagner, Banchero, Anthony Black, and Wendell Carter Jr. So we got Jalen Suggs here, 7 on the shot clock. He'll shoot the 3. That's in there. Jalen Suggs, a huge 3, and the Magic lead it by 5. Under 7.5 to play here. Said Orlando looking to try to send this back to Atlanta tied at 2. Okongwu coming around the layup. That's good. Trae Young with the assist. Wagner crossing the half-court line. We got Porzingis waiting to check back into the game as well after a brief breather. Wendell Carter Jr. with the slam dunk, and the lead is up to 5 once again. Our next video will be back in the Western Conference for Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. As Trae Young will miss that one, Anthony Black will come with the rebound there. That is Game 4 between the Lakers. And that shot is good. Wendell Carter Jr. with back-to-back buckets. That's 12 points for him. And the lead is up to 7 for the Magic again. Krejci feed it over to Porzingis. I know Porzingis was already back into the game. I don't know what I was talking about. Who's waiting to get back into the game now? Young coming around. Feeds it over. There's Alexander Walker for 3. No good. Franz Wagner giving the rebound. They shoot it back over to Banchero. Banchero will put the shot up. That's no good. Porzingis with the rebound. Trae Young crossing the half-court line now. As I said, Porzingis with 30 points. Young coming around. Gives back over to Porzingis. He'll shoot the three. He'll make the three. No, that's a two-pointer, they said. That's 32 for him in this game. Anthony Black holding on to that one right now. His team up by 5 right now. 5.5 to play in the fourth. And that's stolen by Vit Krejci. Krejci dishes it back over to Alexander Walker. 18 on the shot clock. Back over to Trae Young. Porzingis. 5:15 to play in the fourth. Porzingis back over to Young. He'll shoot the three. That's no good, but Okongwu getting the offensive rebound. Young for three again. That's no good. Jalen Suggs coming down with the rebound over to Bachero. Feeds it back over to Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner once again over to Jalen Suggs. 14 on the shot clock, feeding it over to Bachero. Bachero foul over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. with the layup. The lead is up to 7. That's 14 for him. The Magic at 40 of 77. The Hawks 37 of 79. Kristaps Porzingis feeds it back over to Trae Young. 9 on the shot clock. Young coming around with the layup. That's good. Hawks within 5. I believe that's Rishaze, Jalen Johnson, and Dyson Daniels waiting to check back into the game for the Hawks. Carter Jr., he'll miss that one. Okongwu coming down with the rebound over to Krejci. Over to Alexander Walker. Holding on to it right now. 4 on the shot clock over to Porzingis. Porzingis back to Okongwu. 9 on the shot clock. Over to Trae Young. We got 5 on the shot clock. Young, he'll put the shot up. That's good. Trae Young and the Hawks within 3. Anthony Black. Got 15 on the shot clock. Black feeds it over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. with the slam dunk. He has 16 in this game. And the Magic lead up to 5 again. Over to Trae Young. Young feeds it back over to Alexander Walker. 5 on the shot clock. Alexander Walker, he'll shoot it. That's in there. Hawks within 3. 3 minutes to play here in the fourth. I'm going to tell you, the Hawks are not going away here, as we'll have a timeout called by the Magic. We're going to take one as well. 2:54 to play in the fourth. The Magic lead it by 3. Coming out of the timeout here, let's see, we got Young, Daniels, Rishaze, Johnson, and Porzingis. And for the Orlando Magic, so we'll have Suggs, Bane, Franz Wagner, Bachero, and Wendell Carter Jr. That is your lineup set for both teams here. Under 3 to play here in the fourth. Over to Jalen Suggs. Fans it over to Franz Wagner. 15 on the shot clock. Back to Bachero. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. The Magic yet reached the century mark. They lead it 101 to 95. Trae Young. He's a back. He's going to take the drive up. He'll put the layup. That's good. 101-97. Under 2.5 to play in the fourth. At 20 on the shot clock. Finds it over to Jalen Suggs. Back over to Franz Wagner. He'll shoot the 3. He'll make the 3. Lead up to 7 again for the Magic. 2:10 to play here in the fourth. Orlando starting to hit some of these big shots. They want to try to go back to Atlanta tied at 2 and guarantee at least one more game here at the Kia Center. Dyson Daniels will miss it as Porzingis will come with the layup off the... We'll get the second chance points off the offensive rebound. Minute 50 to play in the fourth. 5-point lead for the Magic. Bane itches over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr., he's definitely been the clutch player here in the fourth. That's 18 for him. Lee Bachero gets credit for the assist. The lead is up to 7. Trae Young. He'll dish it over to Johnson, and that's stolen by Bachero. Suggs has it. Feeds it back over to Wagner. Wagner back over to Suggs. Feeds it a little Bachero. He'll shoot the 2. That's in there. It's a 9-point lead for the Magic. 77 seconds to play here in the fourth. 108-99. The Magic on top. Trae Young. That's no good. Bachero grabbing the rebound. 105 to play. Bachero finding it over to Franz Wagner. Wagner dishes over to Bachero. It's an 8 seconds to shoot. Franz Wagner. He'll shoot the 3. That's no good. Porzingis coming down with the rebound. Over to Trae Young now. Young. Gotta get the shot quickly. Young needs to drive or dish it over to Daniels here. 5 on the shot clock. Why are they taking their sweet time? Daniels, he'll shoot from inside. That's good. Hawks reach the century mark themselves. They're only down by 7. Foul time. Why are they not fouling? Why are they not fouling? I don't know. Are you just going to wave the white flag? I guess they are, as Franz Wagner and company, they're just going to hold on to it. The Magic are going to take both games here in Orlando. They remain undefeated here at the Kia Center, and we are going to be tied at 2 in this series. The final score of the game, New Orlando Magic 108, the Hawks 101. One would have to question Quinn Snyder whether he just waved the white flag or not. They could have extended the game a little bit, but that's just me, though. As we see Desmond Bane going to get player of the game. It is time for the post-game player statistics brought to you by 2K Sports. We start off with the home team. In this case, the home team are the victorious Orlando Magic. Desmond Bane with 30 points. He led all scorers for Orlando with 30 points. Despite only scoring 2 points in the second half in total, he still led the Orlando Magic and got player of the game. 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Paolo Bachero with 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Wendell Carter Jr. with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. I believe he came in more clutch in the second half. Franz Wagner, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, followed by Jalen Suggs with 10 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. Mo Wagner, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. Tyus Jones, 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Anthony Black, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. And Goga Badaze, 2 points and 4 rebounds. Noah Penda, Jonathan Isaac, Jed Howard, Jace Richardson, Tristan Da Silva did not play for the Orlando Magic. And now for the Atlanta Hawks here. They are led by Kristaps Porzingis with 34 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist. Porzingis has had at least 30-plus points performance in all 4 games so far. And then you got Trae Young with 29 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Zachary Richauze, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Dyson Daniels, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Followed by Jalen Johnson with 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Onika Okongwu, 5 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Then we got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 4 points, 2 assists, and a steal. Mohamed Gay, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Luke Kennard only had 3 assists in the game, followed by Caleb Houston with 1 assist. Then we got Kobe Buffkin, no stats in 1 minute of play. Vit Krejci only had 1 steal in the game. Nafale Dante, Asa Newell, Nikola Jurisic did not play for the Atlanta Hawks, and that will do it for your post-game player statistics. And we are back in the Western Conference. In our next video, Game 4 between the Los Angeles Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs from the Frostbank Center in San Antonio. The Spurs currently have a 2-1 series lead. That was, of course, after winning Game 3, 115-109. It is Game 4 between the Lakers and the Spurs. Be there or be squared. If you like what you see, hit the like button, comment on this video, and if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do drop. And also, if you haven't done so yet, there is a link in the description down below to my Cash App, as well as where you can find me on X and Instagram. And with that, Reminding everybody the final score of the game, the Orlando Magic defeat the Atlanta Hawks 108-101 behind a 30-point effort by Desmond Bane. They take care of business, winning games 3 and 4 at home to even this series at 2 and to guarantee the second series to go 6 games in my second round series, at all the second round series here in my season playthrough. I am Vinny from vdubproductions, and I am signing off.